Facebook, but not only Facebook. What's up, LinkedIn? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Troy McKnight coming at you from Dallas, Texas, with the Troy McKnight Show. If this is your first time actually tuning into one of my Facebook lives, actually come over here Monday through Friday. Oops, I feel bad because I didn't make it yesterday. I got so freaking busy and I was laying down in bed, and I realized I did not go live. But you know what? My goal of it is, I'm in the home business profession. My goal of it is to inspire you to go after your dreams, your goals with everything you have. I don't care if you're in the home business profession. I don't care if you're in corporate America. I don't care if you're on the traditional business. I believe that you can accomplish anything that you put your mind to. And a lot of times I like to bring my guests and my friends over here. A lot of them are in the home business profession as I am. Today I got this rock star Saul with me. He's actually going to share his story about how he actually got in this profession. But not only that, how he's been able to crush it in this inside of this profession and help a lot of other people do the same. So take it away, Saul. Tell them a little bit about yourself, bro.
Oh, thanks, Troy. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're seeing this. And thanks for having me on. I appreciate you. I always appreciate your energy, your vibes. It's always high vibrations with you. So, yeah, so my story, let's see. In a nutshell, my parents tell me that I was hugging speakers at the age of 2, and I would sit in front of a speaker listening to music for an hour, which I have kids, and that's very uncommon for a 2-year-old to sit still, let alone for an hour. So I definitely had the music bug out of the womb. When I was 5, I started playing piano. I quit 20 times because I didn't like to practice. And then finally someone showed me how to play like a pop tune on piano, and I was like, oh, okay, I got it. This music actually connects to real life. And then when I was 11, I saw James Taylor at the Royal Albert Hall in London. And I said, that's what I want to do with my life. So I went home, picked up a guitar, and just started playing 3 hours a day, figuring it out, kind of grinding it out. And then I went to music school in Boston, Berklee College of Music, Boston, those of you that are from the East Coast. And after a couple of years there, left to make it big in the world, and came back to my hometown, put my band together. We moved up to the Bay and we played around a lot. The record is still on the internet somewhere. The band name is called Pneuma, Pneuma, possibly the worst band name ever. It's 100% misspelled every time we played, but we had a lot of fun. We learned. We were kind of like Fleetwood Mac without the success or the money. So if you can put that all together on your own. And then got into a lot of different things. I got into jazz. I toured China twice. I kind of found my own voice as a songwriter. I put out 10 records of my own. They're CDs. CD it looks like this. Maybe I have one around. Hang on a second. Yes. Back in the day, they had things like this. Like for the young people, yeah, it was a CD case. It's a live
they don't know what that is.
Anyway, it's all good. Back before Spotify. So those are all on iTunes now, Spotify, whatnot. And then I ended up producing other music for other artists as well. I produced 8 records for different people. And then we got ready to have kids. This is around 2013. And I had never wanted to do anything else but music. It was 100% laser focus. So those of you that are listening to this that have had like a single track life, like it's amazing what happens when you have kids. Like these other tapes start playing in your brain. Like maybe you need to make some more money, right?
Yeah.
You need more stability. I mean, I was doing well. I was making 6 figures a year as a musician, which is like very rare territory. It's like less than 1% of musicians even make it that far. So I'm very grateful. And I was on the road 200 dates a year, but I really wanted to get off the road so I could be with my family. I wanted to be the dad that showed up, the dad that took the kids to soccer practice, to school, dad taxi, because I come from a split family. And I know part of the reason why that happened was because, my parents were just, they weren't around each other enough and they weren't at home enough. Right. So I wanted to write my own story, right? Some of you that are listening to this, you're writing your own story now and you're thinking, wow, does it have to be like it was? And the answer is no, but it just comes from a decision. So anyway, I decided I got to figure this out. So I literally, this will be funny, I typed in the lazy way to make money online. That's what I typed in. And this website popped up. It was like lazymlm.com. I'm like, hey, that sounds great. Let's do that. So it was $25 to join this deal. It paid 100% commissions. What do you think happened? The company went out of business because that's not sustainable, right? But I watched a lot of people that were dressed like me, that were super casual, making 4 figures online a month, 5 figures, 6 figures. I'm like, man, I got to figure this thing out. If these, jokers in my mind, if these jokers can do it, I can do this thing. So I kind of learned a little bit about branding, right? And I learned that people join people, not businesses. People, products from people, not the other way around.
Hey, hold on for a minute, Saul.
Yeah.
I got to go back on that because I think a lot of people get that. They don't understand that one part, that people join people, not businesses. People join people, not products or not services or nothing like that. You know, one thing that I'm gonna let you finish, but that's why, you know, people like Jim Rome said, you got to work on yourself more than you work on your business, because as you work on yourself, you start attracting the right people. I mean, just like, you know, me and you became friends and stuff like that. So go on and finish your story. I just want to bring that point to people's attention, because so many times people don't understand that. They try to pitch the company, the product, the service, and they don't understand there's people buying you. If people feel you could take them somewhere, guess what? They'll join you. So take it away, brother.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, you know, I think we have the same background if I move around, so this will be funny. So basically, I joined this company, and
there we go. Oh, that is funny. We got the same background. Great minds think alike.
I like it. Okay, cool. So, yeah, so that company went out of business, right? But I kind of learned the value of branding, like that you are your brand, and I started basically going live 6 days a week for 5 years in a row. Okay. This was pre-Facebook Live, pre-StreamYard. This was like YouTube Live. Then it was Google Plus, which I don't think exists anymore. And then it streamed into Facebook and then Instagram. Okay. So that's just a little clue there. If you want people to know, like, and trust you, just go live many, many times a week for as long as it takes, right? Whether it's TikTok, whatever. TikTok's real popular these days, but it kind of depends. Whatever your jam is, it's fine. So I did that. That company got shut down. Joined another company. And it's funny now, but definitely was not funny going through it. I brought in 244 people into my second company, and it was like an internet marketing sort of a traffic system. And anyway, it got shut down by the FTC. Okay. And then that company sort of had to rebrand into something very similar. So I brought, 74 people over. There were a bunch of dead bodies from the second deal, right? They're like, yeah, we're out. So I brought some more people to the new one. It got shut down by the SEC 5 months later, and people went to jail, and it was terrible, right? Wow. So fortunately, I did not, but I lost a lot of money in that second deal, a lot, because I was super confident on the first one. I'm like, well, let me just put a bunch of money into this thing. It was one of those things, put a little money in, the money comes out magically. Ladies and gentlemen, those are not sustainable, right? Yep. Yeah, it's called a Ponzi, although I thought it was a real business back then. Honestly, I didn't really know different. So then I joined a product company. I'm not going to mention any company names just because I don't want to ruffle any feathers, but I joined a product company that sold a very high ticket water filters, which are amazing. They're amazing products for sure. I still drink them now, but the conversation between turning on your tap for free or buying a $5,000 water machine is an uphill battle, right? So I had a lot of success in that company. I finally had a little bit of guidance. I didn't have mentorship or real leadership, but I saw people doing the right things, and I kind of just modeled it, even though no one was telling me what to do. So I built a little team, and I ranked up a bunch of times. All the rank names are always funny, but I had no duplication. And so for me, I was always looking for residual income, right? I literally wanted to get paid to go to the park with my kids. I mean, that was my big, hefty dream. Hey, just pay me to live my life, which, by the way, that's what your company should do.
Yep. And we're going to recap before we go into it, because I mean, you was a musician, you made 6 figures. I mean, less than 1% do that, right? So whoever looking at this is what I want you to take away from it. The drive that Saul has, I mean, even to be in that profession and make 6 figures. Then he came over here, tried a few things. Companies went out of business, fell and stuff like that. But he saw other people, become successful. He started selling water filters. When he was selling water filters, remember, he didn't have no mentor, nobody worked with directly, but he knew success leave clues. He started looking at other people that was having success and started duplicating what they was having. And so he was able to create success. So take it away. So I just want them to take away from that, what it takes to get to your level, what it takes to become successful, that it's going to be ups and downs. It's going to be challenges. Everything ain't going to be just perfect and pretty, because both of us been there. So take it away, Saul.
For sure. No, I appreciate that. I mean, really the number one factor when I'm talking to the newest person is burning desire. Like, I mean, you could be fresh out of Yale, fresh out of jail. It doesn't matter. Like, if you have a burning desire to change your life, or in more often is the case, your backup is against the wall. Your back's against the wall, because some adults are inspired by aspirational nature and they want to give back to the world. And that's a very small amount of people. Most are more inspired by pain. It's like you're sitting on that nail long enough. Has it hurt long enough, bad enough to where you got to get up, right? And most of the big success stories you hear in the home-based business, it was that. Ask them all. I mean, I could tell you hundreds of stories of people that were in terrible situations. They had to do it. It wasn't an option, right? So anyway, so what happened then? Okay, so yeah, so that company, what I was looking for was duplication. Like I really wanted residual income. I didn't just want to sell stuff. When I was a kid, I sold shoes. It's kind of funny, it's a funny story. When I was like 11, I subscribed to Entrepreneur magazine. I don't know why or how, or even how I found that, but I started getting this magazine. And my he's an entrepreneur. And in the back of that magazine, there was this ad for selling shoes. It was like Mason shoes. So I was 11. So I did it, right? Of course, my mom was my biggest customer, and it may or may not have been legal. I'm not sure. But anyway, 11-year-old selling shoes. I don't know. It's a little dodgy, but I sold some shoes. But I had something in me, right? Like I had that thing, right? That entrepreneurial thing. I don't know if it's because my family's from another country or the first generation immigrant thing, but I had something, right? I just had to find the right vehicle. And that's kind of my whole search, right? You just need one vehicle that, stays together long enough to set your family free. So I had no duplication in that water company. So then I got suckered into a company. Now, drop a one, if you've ever been suckered into a company, this was one of those things where my guy signs me up and then I have this little power line and it looks like I have, 500 people on my team in the first week. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to kill this thing. This is going to be great. So but you got to sign up by Thursday or you lose your whole team, right? It's one of those. There's about 10 of them out there, right? It's a system. I know the guy who created it. It's very brilliant psychology. But at the end of the day, that particular comp plan was not good, right? And I wanted to prove a point in that particular company. I wanted to prove that I could rank up to diamond. Well, the rank names are always funny to me, but it was like a leadership rank without looking at the comp plan. So I did. I built this team of 2,000 people, hit diamond. And then I'm like, well, let me take a deeper look at this comp plan. Oh my goodness. I did not like what I saw. And I think every other leader at the same time did the same thing. They all left and the company got sold. Right?
Yeah.
So can you rank advance in your company without looking at the comp plan? Yes, but I don't recommend it. I definitely don't recommend it. So that was an interesting experiment. So it was around that time that I actually met my first real mentor. I went to an Eric Worre event. It was actually a live event here in the San Francisco Bay Area. And it's kind of a funny story. So I sat in the back. I'm kind of introverted by nature. I like to sit in the back or stand up. And this guy comes in late. He sits next to me and people came up to him and they were shaking his hand, taking photos with him. And I'm like, so what's the deal, man? Are you like the speaker here? Are you the featured guest or something? He's like, no, I'm kind of a big deal in the industry. I'm like, okay, good. This is good. All right, let me get your number. So I got his number. We didn't talk at all that day. And then I called him. And within like a minute of that first phone call, I said, okay, this guy actually knows how to do this, right? He had launched a company with someone named Holton Bugs long ago. Some of you might know who that is. But anyway, he had experience not only launching a company, but creating massive teams, creating leaders, creating culture, and creating duplication. And these are the things you will not just get online. Listen to stuff.
Hold on for a minute. So we got to go back because that's like you said, like creating a culture and launching a business. See, a lot of people don't get that. You got to create a culture. I was privileged enough. I didn't understand that in the beginning. Just to share back to recap what Saul talking about, because I've been there. I remember the first company me and Lisa got into. We made a real strong income real fast, and that company went out of business. I remember Saul being in bed thinking we was going to jail because the checks kept rolling so fast, right? And it was one of them companies that wasn't set to last, like you, right? And then the second company we got involved in, me and you both know, I had a friend in company, his name was William Fawcett, so rest in peace. William was working on creating a culture because inside of that company, he had a team called the Millionaires Club. You know what I'm saying? Which the team was okay. But what happened to me, kind of similar to what happened to you, I ran across a gentleman that was like really know how to launch a business, knew how to create a culture with inside the team. And I moved over to where the business he was in, right? And once you learn that, how to launch and create a culture, the whole game changed. So take it away, Saul. Explain to that on that point right there.
Yeah, for sure. There's really 5 reasons people get involved in a home-based business, and money is the last, by the way. Take that note because everyone does this wrong, okay? Not everyone wants 6-7 figures, right? People want to be part of a community, especially now, right? We're isolated, right? So culture is important. What's your culture like in your organization? Do you have a winning culture? Is it just kumbaya? We're all just hanging out. Is it a fun party culture? Is it a detail culture? We're all scientists. Like, what's your culture? Like, all those things matter. Okay. People come to be part of something that's bigger than them. They want to be part of a leader that's on a mission, right? They're more mission driven. Some people come because they want the products. They're like retail customers. That's fine. And then some people come looking for love. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a fact. People come here, they're looking for somebody, right? I've seen it happen. Quick note, do not date your downline, okay? I'm just telling you. I'm married, so this is never an issue for me.
Yeah, me too, man.
I've seen it. Oh, it's always a failure. Like, I'm telling you. Anyway, it's a little side note. Lastly, they come for the money. So those 5 things, right? So does your team culture or your organizational culture, or even your company culture, does it embody, is there room for everybody, right? So that's a little bit on culture for sure. But the thing that really was the difference for me was, leadership and mentorship are the difference between life-changing income and impacting millions of people or thousands of people or hundreds of thousands of people and just making some money, right? You can recruit your way to maybe low 6 figures. You can kind of grind your way there. But the dance of leadership and mentorship is what really transforms lives and dynasties, right? So if and I've had a lot of online mentors, Gary Vaynerchuk, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, Eric, all these people, right? But someone in your companies is most advisable, someone that's directly working with you, showing the way, who knows the way, that's also on the way themselves, right? Because you can join the right person at the wrong time. That's another story. But anyway, did you want to comment on that?
I mean, that's really powerful because I think a lot of people miss that. When you look at a company, when you evaluate companies, like I had a friend that was, a 7-figure earner, passed away last year. But anyway, me and him spoke on that a lot, about that, a lot of things had to happen in order to be able to create success inside of this profession. And one of the key factors of it is that, just like me and you both know, people buy people. But the key to creating success in this profession is teaming up with somebody that's, in the grind doing it, or somebody that's already done it. And if you don't have that inside of your company, you got to keep going up. Well, if you work with the person direct, you got to keep going up until you find that person, because the team moves as fast as a leader. And if it's something that you don't have inside a company, then you're probably gonna have to open your wallet. And if you believe in the product or service, the company and the company or whatever, because none of that stuff matters anyway. Really, it doesn't. Saul explained it to you, and I say it all the time. It's really about you, because people buy you, then they buy everything else. But if you believe in the mission that you're involved in, you most definitely gonna have to actually go open your wallet up and pay. You're gonna have to pay somebody to mentor you and coach you and teach you and share strategies and stuff with you. But don't pay anybody. You got to pay somebody that's documentation that's done it. And even at that certain point in your career, like Saul, he specialized in, building branding and stuff and online and stuff like that. Also myself, right? So, but you got to have different coaches in different areas. Maybe it's on branding or creating that environment on social media, right? But then you need somebody to coach you mentally, because one of the key factors that's creating success is this: it all starts here. Because if you don't believe it, I don't care if I can give you all the tools, Saul can give you all the tools. We can tell you step by step what to say, what to do. But if this not right, guess what? You're not going to do it anyway. And even if you do it, you're just going to be going through the motions, and you're going to be wondering why you're not getting the results. So, that's the key factor. I think because for me, for the first probably like 13, 14 years, I missed it. I was able to kind of make money and stuff like that. But until I was able to attract people that had done something on a whole nother level to actually say, no, Troy, tweak this, do this now. And even right now at the point, I got a coach, right? And actually, I'm getting on the phone with somebody else today. I got one coach already. I'm getting on the phone with another guy to be interviewed, to be coached by him today, because I understand that more valuable that I become, the more I grow in different areas, the better people I'm going to attract. Because I remember, so as we get them, I'm going to turn it back over to you. I remember when I was first in the industry, when I was in my second company, I was struggling. The first company doing good, second company struggling, right? And I remember I was talking to this lady that's a real strong 7-figure earner inside our profession. And she was actually coaching me, Lisa and George, right? And I told her, I said, man, I just need leaders. I need leaders. And she looked at me and she said, you got to become a leader in order to attract leaders. So if you want a 10, that means you got to be a 10. Most 10s attract 9s. And if you're a 5, that means you're going to attract 3s and 4s. So you got to constantly be moving yourself up to attract them type of people to take your business to a whole nother level. That's just the way it works. So take it away, Saul, because I think a lot of people miss that. So whoever looking at this, we trying to sow into you for when you get off of this, you can take your business to the next level. But not only that, if you're not following Saul, you most definitely want to follow him on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever you at. And if you're looking for somebody to partner up with, to team up, lock arms with you, if you're thinking about getting in this profession, you most definitely want to reach out to him, because guess what? I always said documentation beat conversation. He shared something with me not too long ago where he helped one of his leaders hit a different rank and stuff. And that's what it's about, because people, like you said, people join, they don't join for the money, they join for the feeling. They stay because they want to be a part of something. But when people see something growing, that makes them even stick a little longer. So take it away, Saul.
Yeah, there's a lot of gold nuggets in that. I would rewind the tape on what he just said. There's a lot of good stuff in there. But a couple things I'll share and dovetail on what you said is, it's a funny thing. Like, at the end of the day, this business is not about you. I mean, life, let's just go deep for a second. Your whole life is not about you. You're here to serve something greater. I mean, I don't know what your, religious beliefs are, philosophically or whatever, but why are you on this planet? It's not just to buy a bunch of stuff and die, okay? You got to make a difference. So coming from that kind of service mentality is, how much value can you add to the marketplace? How much value can you add to people's lives? This is why, as a giver, they say givers get, right? And so, for example, me going live 6 days a week for 5 years, literally, like, without missing a beat. I mean, I look back at some of those old videos, they're absolutely terrible, but I was trying, okay? Yeah. I was trying to offer some value.
But you know what, Simon? You got to be bad before you become good. For sure. I mean, I look at some of mine, and so many people are so afraid to be bad, and they don't understand that's a part of the process. And then guess what? Because you did them videos a long time ago, and they was kind of bad, that inspires somebody else to step up and do the same thing, and now they better, and now they good. You see what I'm saying? So take it away. I really gotta say that, because there's so many people out there. You see it, I see it. That's great. That can make an impact in other people's lives, but they too afraid to freaking be bad before they become good. They too afraid of what somebody else gonna think, and it don't matter anyway. Because I'm a believer. I truly believe that God put people out here for you to make an impact in their life. And if you plan too freaking small, you're never gonna be able to reach them people. That's what Saul is trying to say. That's just showing you how we vibe off each other, because leaders think alike. We understand that the purpose is bigger than money. We understand the purpose is truly about making an impact in people's lives. I want to go back a little bit. Saul is in this business because his wife had kids, and he wanted to be there and spend time with his wife and kids. He understood the importance of that. See, it wasn't about the money. It was about the freedom. Money is a freaking freedom ticket. And if you can get that, and then you can go find somebody else like myself or Saul that might be in corporate America, or somebody that's struggling right now, or their wife just had kids or whatever, or something like that, and they want to be there with their kids, they want to be there with their wife, they want to spend time with their wife, they want to travel with their family, or whatever that is, right? That's all it is. It ain't about the freaking things. I was on a training not too long ago with a guy, and he talked about he bought a Ferrari, right? Got big time network market, already made over 20 million. He said when he bought that Ferrari, he just looked at it like, man, what a waste. Because he started to realize that was fine. He wanted it at that time, right? But that wasn't what it was about. It was about creating them experiences with his team, his family, his friends. Because in the bottom line, Sal, I always said, and I hope you, whoever looking at this, I hope you freaking really get it. When it's time to die and go home to believe in, go be with whoever, whatever you believe in. I think Jesus Christ, God, right? It ain't about like how much money you had in the bank. You ain't thinking about that crap. You thinking about the experiences you spent with the people that you love. That's what it's all about. So when you chasing this, which I said don't chase, chase the impact, make impact in other people's lives, and you attract the money and success. Think about it. It's all about the freedom. Just really tune in on why you doing it. Like Saul, I'm pretty sure he got a crazy vision like me to make an impact in millions of people's lives, because we understand the more people that we make an impact in their lives, golly, man, we're going to feel good when we leave here. And when we get ready and go, you know what? God going to look down and say, Saul, great job, man. You not only show people how to actually, get their time back and freedom, but you led a lot of people to me. That's what it's about. So take it away, Saul.
Sure, that was good. Okay, so a quick story. So last night I had this meeting with some people on my team, and 5 years ago, I remember I used to say this. I said, I know at some point there's going to be for some reason I said this, some single mom in Texas whose life is going to change because I made a real decision to change my life, right? So when we talk about it's not about you, you don't even know, like years down the road, someone will because you are bold enough to step out and lead, and we talk about leadership, there's a lot to say about that. Someone's life will be affected. And literally last night, I'm on a meeting, some people on my team, I want to start crying. This lady, she's a single mom. Her life is absolutely changing. I'm like, here it is. I didn't know her, right? So this will happen. You have to plow the way to make room for others, right? And if you want to go further faster, really mentorship is wisdom without waiting. So you got to find someone that has what you want and is willing to slow it down and spend time with you, right? That's the number one thing. And this is a whole nother topic, but we could talk about the difference between like just selling stuff and building people, right? I build people. Yeah, there's products involved, but that's like secondary. I build people, right? People move products, not the other way around. So if you can find someone that's willing to slow it down enough to spend time with you, and you want what they have, and you may want to consider their lifestyle too, right? Not everyone's going to have the same lifestyle. I mean, if it's Ferraris and bikinis and whatever, that might not be for you. If it's like family, faith-based values, okay, that's more my jam, right? So you have to look at their lifestyle too. But that is really, for me, that was the difference, right? And now, like, I am the mentor for people, and it's something that I do not take lightly at all. I take it very seriously with the 2% of people that are really wanting to change their lives. Because I know it's going to impact thousands of people. So I want to share one more thing, okay? And I know you got to go. I got to go too. So here's I call it my 5-legged table. 5 pillars of belief that you need to succeed here, okay? Ready? Number 1, you got to believe in yourself. That's number 1. If that ain't happening, it doesn't matter what happens. You're going to self-sabotage. It's going to fall apart, okay? Number 2, you have to believe in the profession in general. Whatever, like you could be in direct sales, MLM, network marketing, consumer direct, whatever, however you frame it up. You have to believe in that, okay? You have to believe in your leadership. It's really important. Most people, they just like join the thing and like, what's not working? You got to believe, you got to connect to them for sure. And then the last 2 are your company and your products, okay? So if you mess up the order, it won't work. But definitely, like, you kind of like rate yourself on a 1 to 10 in those different 5 areas, and that'll be a good barometer of where you're at.
Wow, man. Saul, I want to thank you for coming on, bro. I really appreciate it. You know what? It's so many topics that we can hit on. And, a lot of times I bring people back, man, like, you got to come back. We got to come back and talk about leadership and hit these other topics, because me and Saul both, we here as servants. I mean, we believe in the profession. We know we are in the best profession in the world, because we in the business of changing people's lives, showing people that it's a better way, and whatever level that is. And one tip I leave you is, work with people where they at. If a person come in and they only want to make $500 a month, don't try to tell them they can make 10. Just give them the 500, because that's what they need. That's what they're looking for. So with that, Saul, I really appreciate you taking time out. And whoever looked at this, you most definitely want to go back and look at the replay. You probably want to look at it over and over, because Saul dropped a lot of nuggets. And if you're not following him on Facebook, you most definitely want to follow him on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, all the platforms on social media, because he's a freaking brand. He's a branding freak. And not only that, he's a strong leader inside our profession. With that, guys, God bless, and I hope you make this an awesome freaking Thursday, and let's go out and make an impact in some people's lives.